Hello and welcome to another Dev Hangout with me, Simon Dean. I'm the project lead on Photel. Thanks for joining us today. In today's show, we have got new box art, which you may have seen at the start while we were waiting for the stream to start. We're rolling that out across all the sites over the next few days, but we felt a refresh was needed. In today's stream, let's see, we've got road fixes. I'm just having a look at my list down here. So roads are back in, and we'll talk to you about how you can recover them if you are a level designer. So how you can recover them from your previous maps. We will take a look at a new tab on the civics dialogue and a new model for population growth. So we'll play the tutorial, the sandbox tutorial again, because just that's the main way that we'll be able to look at those things. So that's the civics tab. We'll also be looking at triggers. So if you were watching last stream, we weren't able to get triggers working because of a bug. That is now fixed, so we'll be able to show you that. And also we've got some new nodes in Workbench. So the list is, I've got, I don't know, 30 odd nodes that are going to be coming patch 0.3. As well as all sorts of bug fixes and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump in and start a new tutorial game. And I will just fade down the music. Okay. So let's go ahead and load up the latest version of the tutorial. I'm still working on this, but we will be recording the voiceover for it soon. Looking snazzy. I wasn't looking like this an hour ago. Benefits of a shave in the shower. Okay, so apparently we had an important... it wasn't important, but we had a commit just before we went live. And I was persuaded into doing a new build, which I did. You will be astounded at the changes that it's introduced. So the first thing is to place a supply wagon. So let's go ahead and do that. And the first change is going to be up here. You ready? Are you ready for it?
A building has been
Boom.
constructed.
There you go. We have a flashing TIG sign. Fantastic. Okay.
My pleasure.
That's not all. Wait for it. There's another one coming. So we've got to forage for 10.
All right, my love.
10
All
berries.
My way.
We'll just start collecting some wood.
Yes, my
actually.
dear.
Just gonna
Right away.
Get some iron ore as well. You'll notice that peasants now respond immediately to commands, so there's no sort of half a second delay. And then them walking there, they instantly run now. Okay, so we should get up to 20 wood. Woo! It flies out. Okay. So, before we can construct our first building, blah, 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 shop 25 planks. No worries. Well, they're on it.
Something to
that?
do?
Mary De Winter is collecting iron ore. Excuse me. Okay, so roads. As you remember that in patch 0.2.16, there was a bug that meant that roads weren't saving. So if you were a level designer or if you were playing, they wouldn't save. If you have made backups of your previous files, you can go in there and you can find a file called, I think it's road drawer. Let me go and just have a quick look. Data saves, locations, road. Oh, typically it's not in that one. Roadplacer.json. So if you go ahead and copy that out of your old file where you had roads in it and then paste it into your new save file, and then this is when 0.3 releases, then you'll get your roads back and you won't have to relay them. Okay, so just jumping back into the game. So I've got to place a woodcutter's hut. So let's put that down here. So we fixed the glitches with the building, so there's no flickering anymore. It was an issue with the woodcutter's hut and the stonecutter's lodge, but only in the internal dev build. So, but that is now fixed since last stream. Thanks for joining us today. If you are new to the stream, then please consider popping along to twitch.tv/GamesFoundry and clicking follow, or jumping on to youtube.com/GamesFoundry and following us there.
Construction completed.
Okay, so we can now train 2 woodcutters, and then
Yes,
if I train 2,
What now?
then this should vanish. Okay, that's gone. All right. So let's have a look at what we want to do. Right, yes. New population expansion. That's rather good timing because we need to build 2 cottages. We now have, under civics, a second tab called management, and we've redone the way that population expansion happens. So when your villagers are anything but very unhappy, so when it's not in the red, you will slowly start to accumulate happiness. So, and the more happy your village is, the faster the rate that you accumulate that, and the faster the rate, the more you progress towards population expansion. If, however, your villagers are unhappy, when it gets really low, it will start eating away at happiness, and then people will eventually start leaving. So let's keep an eye on that, and let's go ahead and build our 2 cottages. Build one there. One there. So this is the internal dev build of 0.3 that I'm playing. This is not currently released, but it will be either at the end of April or the start of May. It includes building upgrades, which we're still working on, but all of that is now in. So let's have a look at chat.
Building completed.
Okay, let's see what's going on. So, population expansion. We've got room for 1 more person. Nobody's very unhappy. They're mildly miffed off, but it's okay. So while that is progressing, let's go ahead. Oh, actually, we need to finish that second cottage first. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, there you go. So it's red if people are annoyed and are likely to leave your village.
Building complete.
Donnie, so if you want to download community-made maps, then jump on to the Steam community forums, and there's a sub-forum on the right-hand side called Community Maps and Content. And if you look in there, you'll have posts with links to download. All right, so hang on. Or has it just been slow? Need to keep an eye on that. I'll come back to that. Let's get cracking and build our fishing hut. Are they getting more unhappy? Maybe they are. Looks like they're hungry, so they probably are getting unhappy. So it's ticking along at a very slow rate. So while we're doing that, they're both working, so that's fine. Still ticking along.
A building has been
All right,
constructed.
Okay, construct a windmill next. But first I want a new person, so They're not far off arriving.
New settlers have arrived.
Okay, so let's work on expanding and getting everybody fed. Don't really know why they're so hungry.
Yes, my dear. Okay.
They should go and
A woman's work is never done.
run to the nearest bushes. I'm going to get some more. So let's go ahead and build a windmill. I won't be playing this for too long. Okay, construct 2 fields. I've only got enough wood for 1. Oops. In terms of the cost of fields, I think we're going to reduce it. So we're going to get rid of the gold cost. And we may, I think I'm going to reduce the wood cost to 25. Just because at the end of the day, it's just a wooden fence and it's not even a full wooden fence because there's holes in it everywhere. So it seems disproportionately expensive to some of the large buildings.
Construction completed.
Just waiting on a wood. Here we go.
Building completed.
So one of the changes as well that we made, excuse me, is that we've given everybody a voice. We've just drawn on the existing voices for now.
All right, my love.
So if a profession has them, so for example, we didn't have female woodcutters in the old tutorial, so we don't have a voice. So we're just using the female peasant voice.
Yes, my dear.
But it's just a little bit more, you know, it feels a little bit more sort of responsive.
How can I help? All right, my love.
When you actually select somebody. And in time, we're auditioning at the moment for all of the voices for the remaining workers. So they should be added in the coming months.
New villagers have arrived.
Yeah, slight differences in villager clothing would
Really?
require.
Yep, okay.
It would just consume video RAM. So, and like you say, it doesn't really affect gameplay. So, I'd say it's unlikely, but you never know. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish that second field. I'm actually going to build 3. I think I'm going to change the tutorial to say
We don't
3.
have enough gold to do that.
Don't have enough gold. Oh, maybe I should put the tax rate up. How much was it again? 75?
Building completed.
Train a farmer. Okay. Give us your money. Come on. Oh, it doesn't like. Oh, because right. So it's not population expansion isn't expanding, obviously, because we're full. So what? What we really need to do is build a cottage. Okay. Train a farmer.
Something to do?
My pleasure.
Let's go ahead. And you become a farmer.
Farming work to be done.
Now we did have voices for farmers, so
Crops to be sown.
there now. Okay. Build a bakery close to our windmill. Alright, I don't know if we've got enough. Yes, we have. Alright. Well, I don't like destroying trees, so let's come down here. Let's put that there.
What now? Huh?
So they'll all run there. Okay. Let's go ahead and see where we're at. So happiness is okay. They're not so hungry anymore. So if I build another cottage, let's
A building has been constructed.
break now from the tutorial and test this out a little bit.
Yep.
I suppose I ought to at least give them a baker so that they can make. Let's leave those growing wheat.
Construction completed.
Okay, so now we've got extra capacity. Let's have a look. Yep, so it's growing again. And hopefully that will result in smoother, more not reliable, but you know when your population is going to expand, and it's a bit more certainty. That's what I think the word that I was looking for. Okay, so let's lower the tax rate now. All right. So I think what we'll do, I tell you what, well, let's play through. Let's go ahead and play through because I want to show you something because when I want to jump into Workbench and have a look at how we've actually done that. So we want a well, so let's go ahead and place.
We don't have enough planks to do that.
Really? Surely we do. Okay.
What now?
Look at them all running.
Huh?
That little
Yep.
lights. So Hunting Lodge. I'm just going to zoom through this.
Not enough planks.
Alright, I think what we need to do then is we need to hire a full house. There we go, there's one.
What now?
Should be another one somewhere. Oh, must have arrived before we got there.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
How can I help?
So if I use F, it'll cycle between my woodcutters. So there's all four. I wonder if what we should do is if you select a building and then press F, if it should automatically go to that profession rather than going,
Be right
as it
there,
has in this
darling.
case, to peasants. I don't know. Slight tweak that may help it. So if you guys have got questions for me, then please put at Games Foundry at the start of your question, and then it'll highlight and I'll be able to see. Okay. So it's going for Hunting Lodge, so still not enough planks. Oh, we will have now. Bang. Okay. So let's go and put our Hunting Lodge near to our source of deer. Meat, which is the deer. So I want, in particular, I want to just jump into the blacksmith.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
I want to have a look at the blacksmith research and how we can modify the list of research that's available in that building when the game starts, and also detect when research is complete.
Building completed.
And that is a couple of new nodes that enable to do that. All right, so train a hunter.
Yep.
Excuse me. Train a butchery. Train a butchery. Build a butchery and train a butcher. Alright. More planks required. Alright. Oh, I didn't have to wait for that for long for that. What is it? Butchery I'm making, isn't it? So let's build that close to. Let's build it right next door, in fact. Mind you, they're making meat pies, aren't they? So let's make it this side of the bridge, so then they can go to the supply wagon and take supplies. If you start up a dev-made map, will an advisor or something tell you about the map or something? Because
Building
some people
completed.
don't know what to expect from them. Should just be a little intro dialogue. Yeah, I think in time we'll add that. At the moment, I'm focusing on the tutorial because that's the main thing that's required right now for new players. And once we've got that in, and we can move on to adding in some of the RPG storyline for the Glade Folk and the Withering Dead. And I think as part of that, we'll be looking at setting the mood, if you like, and introducing the player, or easing them into the map. Talk about a Burrow Ox being unlockable if you create more than one town. Excuse me. Again, that's another maybe. There's so many things that we could do in game. Yeah, it's just a matter of finishing off the core of development and getting the game playable end to end, and then we can look at all these nice extra things. All right, we've got lots of people just milling around.
What
so
now?
Let's go ahead and train them.
Huh?
Let's go and have a butcher and progress the quest. Okay, so kill the kobold scavengers. I think what I'd like to do here is in the editor, I'd like to be able to position the camera so I can frame it properly and then use that position and grab that position into Workbench and use that in future. Excuse me. But for now, we're just using the camera frame node. So,
Something to do?
let's go
On
ahead and
my
kill
way.
these. I think we might slightly more than I need.
All right, dear.
I got my eggs. I'm
Time
on.
to get my hands dirty.
Go on then, you take them out. Okay. So that's kobold dead. So build blacksmiths. Just loot those. And let's see what we need for a blacksmith. If you remember, I think it was the last stream, the animation wasn't fully working on the bellows on the blacksmith, so it'd be nice to be able to show you that today. Ord, will you promote patch 0.3 in any way?
A building has been constructed.
We'll be doing something, but I'm keeping quiet about that at the moment.
Yes, Petal.
Okay, so there we go. The bellows are going now, although you can't really see them. But maybe come back at daytime. So let's go ahead and train.
All right, my love. Yes, my dear?
mining, so
How can I help? All right, my love. Something to do?
no.
Yes, Petal. Yes, my dear?
That's interesting because they're stood on top of each other. Yeah. All right, so click on the blacksmith, open the building dialog, and click the research tab. Right, so now, if I open the building dialog, it should progress the conversation. Yes. Okay, so it's detected. We've got a new node that. Sorry, not a new node.
Villagers
but a new,
are in need of vegetables.
a new setting so that we can detect when it's been opened. So I wanted to click on research. Now, another thing you'll notice is that I've removed all the other research. So we'll have a look at that as well. So let's set to work researching. And as it ticked, we also detected a slight progression in research, and it's gone on. So open the production tab. Okay. Workers assigned. Blah blah blah. So unfortunately, there's a bug at the moment, Unity bug, which I can fix. But there we go. All right. So I've pumped everything into research. That's progressing well. Also, we now have recreatable steps for the crafting recipes that were vanishing. And it's to do with when you go, if you start a fresh game, exit to main menu, then go into a second game, that's when the crafting recipes vanish. So something is not being reset. So we now know how to recreate it, so hopefully we're close to getting a fix for that. What I can do is I can go in here. How much gold have we got? 439. Let's reward and lash them. Okay. That's just weird. It should have progressed the quest at that point, so something's gone wrong. Okay. Well, thankfully we got to the point that I wanted to show you in terms of clearing research and being able to track progress of research. So let's go ahead and jump into Workbench and the editor and take a look at things like triggers and some of the new nodes. Alright, so let's exit to main menu. I'll just bring up some music. Okay, so map designer. Lock those. And let's go ahead and load this one. So let's look at triggers first and how they can be used. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to our little graveyard. So, triggers. The first thing to do is actually to be able to place a trigger. So I'm going down to the systems kit, and in here I've not done the icons yet, but we have two types of trigger. We have a spherical trigger, and what we didn't have last week is we also have a box trigger. For today I'm going to use the box trigger, the spherical trigger. So let's go ahead, give that a reasonable radius, and then what I'm going to do is when one of our peasants walks in here, I'm going to go ahead and trigger a little dialogue. So let's go ahead and select that. Let's jump into Workbench. Trigger is a script starter, so much like the start node, trigger does the same. It doesn't need any nodes before it. Okay, so I want to use the node that we've got. So if I just flick back, it's using the currently selected object. And then the allegiance of the characters, well, your characters are order. It's been there for years, that, so I need to change that, really. I think it's likely to be changed to faction rather than allegiance once the faction system is added in. Okay, so when this is triggered, one of the graves looks recently disturbed. Investigate is option 1, and leave it alone is option 2. Okay, in which case we'll close it on option 2. Now, if they go for option 1, which is investigate, I actually want to, oops, I suppose we could put a once in there actually. don't think in this particular instance it would matter, but let's do it anyway. And what I want to do is I want to put a wave spawner. So let's pull up the inspector and dock that. Apparently there's a bug that, well, for a start you can't undock it. But if you haven't docked it, you can't use the scroll bars to get down the bottom. In fact, it's only when it's docked, so yeah, there's known issues with that. Alright, so what I want to say is, let's actually make this pretty low. And time since start, set that to a high value. We don't want them to wander, and we want it to spawn. Let me hide my face. Always doing that. A skeleton. One of them. And because it's the easy map, let's set it to a quarter of the normal health. Alright, so I'll just move it up slightly, and then let's move it onto the front of the grave. Okay, so jump back into Workbench, and on the trigger for the spawn point, I'm going to go use selected. Okay, so they'll walk into the trigger, pop up a conversation dialogue where they can investigate. If they investigate, which is option 1, it'll just trigger this once, and it will trigger this wave, and they will have to fight it. Alright. I mean, we could probably do something as well, like create a quest and trigger a quest. Let's see. So let's create a quest called Them Old Bones. Alright, and we'll have a quest, subquest when defeat Old Bones. Right, another 3 as a character. So let's connect up the quest node to quest node. Of course, we can't detect when he's been killed, but we can do, for the sake of it, this we can do a statistic. So when the type is you've killed, and when you've killed a skeleton, so let's say when you've killed greater than, and the default is 0, so when you've killed greater than 0, so 1, then we will complete that quest. Let's move that down. Another improvement that has been added in this last week is a little helper, a little flashing red light showing you that where there is a mandatory connection required for it to work. So let's go ahead now. I think what we'll do is let's move that over. And let's put a sequence in there. Now a sequence is sort of like a fork. So let's fire the first one with that. You see when I deleted that, it's now showing a connector next to run. And I can see the other one that I need to connect is down there. Okay, so if I go to investigate, then the sequence does 2 things. It will trigger the spawn on the skeleton, and then it will also trigger the quest to defeat Old Bones. So we'll get a quest pop up on the right hand side below the minimap. Okay, so just move that there. And when it's complete, let's say inventory add. Actually, let's do two things. So let's do another sequence. Connect that up. The first one, we're going to do an inventory add, and we'll hang on, what's it called? All right, let's give them the withering dead key. 1 is the default. We also want to play a sound. Oh, that's one other thing that I meant to mention, that previously we were doing something like this, where we were having a sound node feed in before a conversation. We were using that to trigger a voiceover. So that has now been added into the conversation node, so I could specify like a voice acted line there if I wanted to. Alright, so when the quest completes, I can tell it to play a sound. Not gold. Let's just use the positive stuff because that's what I know. No, gold. Coin. No. Alright, can't think of it, so we'll just use positive for now. Alright. So actually we didn't need that in there at all, so we'll just do that. Clean it up a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead now. Let's position our camera where we want it to start. And there, save that. Alright. Quest failure state. At the moment I can't detect, so we can't identify a specific NPC, so, and there's no lost state at the moment, so we can't do that right now. But we're continuing to work through like most of the common RPG encounters that you like to have, and we'll be adding in those to support that. So most things that you can do in an RPG game at the moment, you could expect that we're going to add that in there. Alright, so new game. Oh yeah, I know quests can fail, but I've no way of knowing that... well, I suppose I could count the number of dead.
All right, my love.
A building has been constructed.
Oh. So I'll just let me turn down the music in game.
Yes, my dear? All right, dear.
My pleasure. On my way. Ta-ta.
Alright, so let's send somebody in.
Really?
Alright, so that's now triggered. One of the graves looks recently disturbed, so we can leave it alone
Okay.
and walk away.
My
And then I
pleasure.
can walk back. And it'll trigger again. And then I can investigate. Now the skeleton should spawn. Alright, I should probably put a puff of smoke there. Just ignore that for now. Defeat Old Bones has appeared. That's it. And I've defeated a
On
skeleton.
my way.
How can I help? Right away.
And in our inventory, we now have Withering Dead Key, and it played a sound. And I also get some cool loot as well. Okay, what we can't do at the moment, but
Ta-ta.
we will be adding
Something
soon,
to do?
is
Really?
we need a
What
flip-flop
now?
for enabling and disabling the state of the trigger. So
Okay.
even though I've completed it, it will keep triggering at the moment. So
My
let's just-
pleasure.
we will be adding something in to deal with that so that you can disable the trigger. So once you've investigated and you've triggered the quest, it'll stop triggering this. Alright, so that's triggers. You can do all sorts of cool stuff with that. Let's go back into Workbench and fire up the tutorial. One thing that we'll also be doing, it's probably not going to be in 0.3, but hopefully the patch after it, is the ability to give quest completion rewards, which we'll be putting at the bottom of the dialog box and showing, so you can hover over and see what loot items you get. Alright, so open up the tutorial. Now, was Zoom implemented last week? And the improvement in performance? I think it was like really slow last week. But yeah, performance has been improved. And zoom is in there as well. Performance drops a bit when you're fully zoomed out. But the bits I wanted to draw your attention to. So this is the start of the tutorial. And if you remember in the tutorial, excuse me, I disabled all of the blacksmith's research apart from leatherworking. And that's what these nodes here are doing. So set research enabled. The state is the default of the state is actually false. So this is turning it off. So we've got it's turning off swords, daggers, axes. There's a lot of research in the blacksmith. So chainmail, scale armor. I think we probably need a node for like set research enabled all or something. And then I can just chain it. That would be 2 nodes instead of all of these. Maces, sharpening, hardening, and prospecting. And then, somewhere down here, let's see. No, that's the continuation, so I've just got to find it. That's Weaver's Hut. It's a stone cutter. Learning leatherworking. Here we go. Alright. So, if you remember, there were a couple of events. We were able to... Let's see, when it triggers... Building Inspector opened. Here you go. So, it's under Statistic. Not quite sure why it's under statistic, but still. So we've said that when the building inspector is open for a smelt, then that's how we're able to detect it at the moment. I'm not sure that's filed correctly though. And then the other thing that we did was we waited for a little bit of the research to be completed. So if we jump over here, we have research progress, which I believe is probably between 0 and 1. So 1 being 100% and 0 being 0%. So 0.1 would be 10%. I'm assuming that's how it's implemented. But all I've said is as soon as the progress is greater than 0, so it's been progressed at least a little bit, then proceed with the quest. Something about Reese Buttercups. Okay. So now I need to look at... We have under research. We've got research progress, which I've covered. Research add progress. So if there's an event that you want to trigger and you want to contribute, I don't know, say 50% of the research towards something, then I can do that. And then I can toggle research. We can also detect to see whether they have a specific research item or not. I think, no, is research enabled? I guess whether it's enabled or not, rather than in their inventory. So if you want to check whether they've researched something or not, then you would just do an inventory count, and then you would do a search for, say, leatherworking. And that would be greater than 0. It would actually, it would always be 1 if they had it, but that's how you can detect if they've researched it. There are, oh yeah, of course there are. I keep forgetting that there's some advice down here. So if I go up to research, progress of a specific research in %. Oh, outputs a value between 0 and 100. Okay, all right, so I should really read these. It was added, and I think my brain's still in the version before it was added. Let's see. Checks if specific research is enabled. If a research is disabled, the player cannot research it. All right, yeah, so that's like if we were up here and we disabled a piece of research. Okay. let's have a look. We have need. So we can actually find out what all the needs are between 0 and 100. So if you remember in the civics menu, and we've got all of the bars, we can actually read what those values are. So we can do various conditions. So you could say, rather than if, let's say when. So if it's greater than or equals, oops, let's delete that. So if the need for warmth is greater than 25, so they've got ample wood, and then I'm going to follow it by a not to say that if it's less than 25, that could be the condition, and then I could trigger something like a warning, so I could do a pop-up. I could do something like that, or I could start a conversation, or the advisor could pop in. So that's needs. What else have we got? Happiness, same as needs, just a value between 0 and 100, so we can find out what the happiness rating of your village is. Research, we've covered that. We have building, so we can trigger an upgrade, or we can select a building. Or we can demolish it. We can also damage is to a world object, so damages a world object such as a building, and we also have damage character damage if you want to actually wound a character. So the number of nodes is expanding rapidly. So how many have we got actually? One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 nodes added this month. So it's significantly more advanced than patch 0.2.16 was. Performance is better, and it's just a lot easier to use. 85. 85 what? 85 nodes in total. Or building upgrades. The cottage is now working. We're at the point where we'll soon be putting in the requirements for upgrades. One thing we need to do is give a reason for upgrading. I mean, there's a pretty obvious one in terms of the capacity of workers. But also, I think what we'll do is we'll remove expanded boundary from research. And I think what we'll do is we'll just make the boundary get bigger for each of the buildings. So that's another reason for upgrading. And then maybe what we will do is we'll also put a requirement on research for you to have a building of that tier. So one thing that I've just thought of, which we don't have, is to be able to detect whether they have a certain tier of a building. Which would be good, because then we could say, right, you need a... if they get a tier 3 blacksmiths, then we can enable plate armor research, or maybe we can have an advanced piece of research. And we'll do that. Okay. What I haven't tried, which I'm just going to actually... I'm going to quit the game. Oops. Just bear with to do is I just want to go into like the snow map. Yeah, the nodes are fairly quick to add. Let's go into the snow map. Let's change the music to... Snow zone. Okay. What I...
All right, my love.
Oh, because I can't test quests in this, can I? Just noticing a bit of wiggly. Some sort of transparency issue behind that. Maybe it's the mask for the minimap. I was actually going to test question this, but of course I haven't set any up, so let's go ahead and enable Workbench through the console. And let's say quest, quest number 1, subquest 1, stat killed. Why can't I click on that? Oh, I guess I can't set it in the player. Oh. Bombs. Let's set this task 1. Okay, so there we've got some quest text up now. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay. So, is there anything you guys would like me to look at? One issue I will just go to show. Let's run up here because I know about this.
Right away.
Let's see if they can get all the way up there. Let's make sure we can heal them so they can survive. I just want to go up here so I can show our art director where our programmer where there are some issues, be that nav mesh or something. Not been up here in a long time. Alright, so it's along here.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, so they shouldn't be
A
doing
woman's
that.
work is never done.
Can't
On my
actually
way.
get here.
Ta-ta.
So for some reason, if somebody can investigate as to what's going on there, that would be really handy. Pit of fleas. All right. I guess we could look at building upgrades. So let's go back. New game. Let's go ahead and go into the stinking swamp.
A building has been constructed.
All right, dear. Yes, my dear.
My
Right away.
pleasure.
Alright, so we're doing on time. Oh, great, okay. Got an hour to play. I guess we want the woodcutters these huts. Berries, so they're not going to starve. 20 planks. It could be the cliff that's presenting them. I'll have to give that a go anyway. That's not something I'll test during the stream. I talked about changing the base colour at tier 3. Yeah, I think we will. We haven't done it yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a road. Oh, no. Still got flicker, so maybe that isn't fixed. I thought that was fixed, but it's maybe it's not. Alright, all of you, 1, 2, 3 should stop what you're doing and go ahead and construct this. No, you're not going to be able to choose a colour. Donnie, so I'm going to just go play this map for a bit and I'm going to upgrade everything to
Construction
tier 3.
completed.
Yep.
Maybe have some military fun. Just bear with me a second. Okay. All right, let's get that up to tier 3. It doesn't cost us anything at the moment. That's what we need to implement. Let's see. They really need some food. 100 planks. Wow.
How can I help?
Oh, I'll tell you what we need first. Well,
Yep.
go ahead then.
Something to do?
Oh, you are a
Yo,
woodcutter.
I got my axe. I'm on it.
Yes, Petal.
Right, you can become a woodcutter as well then. Let's just cheat and go and grab some resources. Because we only really want to look at the building upgrades, don't we? I suppose I could put instant build on as well. I think it would maybe look at like a slate blue. Yeah, bright pink with green spots. Let's see. We haven't got capacity for anybody else at the moment. Let's demote you. Go have construction.
All right, my love.
That's it. Crack on. Fishing hut.
Building completed.
See, that was such a pain to be able to build around there before. Now that it clears automatically, it's a lot easier. Right, upgrade. See this? I've noticed this on some things. It doesn't. It only works on some cottages for some reason, so that's definitely a bug. So if I build another cottage, then we'll see what they do.
Building completed.
Okay, 2, 3. Fishing huts. So why wouldn't that upgrade? Like earlier, it definitely upgraded. The joys of using a dev build.
New settlers have arrived. A building has been constructed.
See you, stream a bit. Thanks for joining us today.
Construction completed.
How are we getting on? Oh, well, working towards population expansion. Let's get our fields up.
Yes, my dear?
I'll set one of these to a carrot field, I think.
Building completed.
You go be a farmer. Let's set this one to carrots.
All right, my love.
Trainer this goes to get some berries. Oh, we should really go ahead and get some
Building completed.
fishing going.
What now?
A building has been constructed.
You guys go start fishing.
How can I help?
Carrot field and 2 wheat fields. Actually, let's go ahead and get another wheat field because we're going to have a big army. Let's get a barracks going. Let's see if we can upgrade this one. No, can't. They don't want to play ball. They were working earlier, but they're not working now. This one I should be able to upgrade, however. Yeah. I'll have a look for some more animations. I've not checked the git commits.
New villagers have arrived.
No.
Construction completed.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get a bakery. Let's build it right across the road. From the windmill. The house upgrades will increase your population capacity.
Building completed.
Right, upgrade. Oops, that's rations. Okay. So We need to get our economy going and our food
Building
supply
completed.
going before we can train all of our folks.
Huh?
Those drop the firewood off, and then you come and be a baker, which will upgrade to 2.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Good. Okay, so we've got fish. We should have bread soon. We've got vegetables. We don't really need meat because we've got fish. Let's go ahead and get a mine going. So I just want to build up some population and then go ahead and train small army and then head out.
A building has been constructed.
Alright, so let's upgrade that.
Something to do?
Set you to work. Go ahead and get a stone cutter. 100 planks required. Let's go ahead and build another cottage.
Yes, Petal.
Gonna get some firewood. Looks like we're making bread. Must be at full capacity yet, so we need that other cottage to be up and running. There we go.
All right, my
So
love.
Maggie Chaucer set to work on it. This animates as well, so I imagine that'll be going in sooner or later. Let's probably get some clothes going, shouldn't I? Let's fit those in here.
We don't have enough planks to do that.
Alright, so we'll wait on planks.
Construction completed.
The sneak peeks I need to prepare for, really. I can't just dive in and show you. But yeah, there are obviously art assets that have been made in the past 4 weeks. 4 weeks? No. When did we last do a patch? Start of this month, wasn't it? More behemoths and heroes and things like that. kind of want more fields, don't I? I think I can probably demote some of these woodcutters now. Demote.
Yup.
That's it. You guys build this weavers up faster. Only on population expansion.
Building completed.
Look at that. New folks arriving as I speak. Let's get a stone. Oh, we wanted planks. Still not got 100. I'm sure it won't be long.
Building completed.
A building has been constructed.
Set to work. Cotton.
What now?
Weaver. Alright, that's you planting cotton, which is great. Ooh, nearly enough wood. Nearly enough wood. Here comes the delivery. Boom.
Yes, my dear?
You guys will go and build. Do I have a rough idea of how building upgrade anims would look? Scaffolding around the current building may be the best option.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Yes, I think it's scaffolding is one thing that we'll be looking at doing. I think we'll probably launch with instant upgrades for now, and then we'll add in the scaffolding and experiment with that. 'Cause running short
Construction
time.
complete.
The patch will be due out soon. So let's go ahead and upgrade that and get a couple of workers.
On my way.
Okay. Oh, we can upgrade this as well. So, I mean, it's instant at the moment. There'll be a cost of doing this. And then, as pointed out, there will be an animation. So we'll probably experiment with putting up scaffolding around a building to show that it's being upgraded. And then the health bar will, it'll look like it'll half, but we'll actually be doubling the health, so then they'll repair it up to full health. And at that point we'll remove, put in the new building and then remove the scaffolding. I think that's the path that we'll be going. Okay, how are we getting on? Could do some more vegetables. Let's go and build in the field. That might be a bit far out, I don't know. Let's see if this field's within range. Because what we'll do is, as I said,
All right, my love.
we'll remove. I don't know.
Building
it's in
completed.
Research, actually, at the moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, so expanded boundary is under research at the moment. But I think we'll remove it from research and we'll just make it a passive benefit of having a bigger building. Oh, that's okay. That's within
How can I help?
range. So let's go ahead and give
Something to do?
the farming more workers. Because all these fields are a bit too much work for one person. No, was it vegetables? Yeah, so let's make this a carrot field. Right, I think we're ready for population expansion time. So let's have another cottage. How much bread have we got? We've got 35 bread. Loads of flour. Not too many carrots. Not too many fish either. So let's go ahead and bump up production of fish.
Yup, ta-ta.
Come back and... Oh, that. We can't break the buildings in parts because there are faces that have been deleted for optimization. So we can't just break it apart as simple as that. It's not as simple as that. Have they built that? How are we doing on that? Alright, good. So everything looks to be improving. So we should get some more peasants soon.
New settlers have arrived.
Good. Alright, so let's go ahead now and let's set our barracks to auto-recruit. Now at 12.
Really? What
you,
now?
And you, I want you to become arbalists.
All right, my love. All right, dear.
By your leave.
Ready to
Mine
serve.
is to obey.
Yes, my dear?
Right. Let's go to tailors down. Should probably look for the door, shouldn't I? Where's the door? There's the door.
How can I help?
New villagers have arrived.
Yup.
Presumably he's going to be trained as our first city watch. Bread.
By your leave. Move along. Nothing to see here.
Something to do? Yes, Petal.
Okay. I can upgrade this as well.
A building has been constructed.
Yes, Petal.
Let's set the tailor.
All right, my love.
Plant trees. Yeah, I'm going to need some seeds
All
to
right,
do
my
that.
love.
So
Ready.
Yes, my dear?
let's have 1, 3,
Ready to
1, 2.
serve.
How can I
Hold
help?
on.
Something to do?
Ready to
Yes,
obey.
Petal.
Heading
Let's
out.
go ahead and take some spiders out.
Right away.
Could really do with more peeps. Oh, let's go ahead and build the cottage.
All right, my love.
Double time. Quick march.
Oh, I think there's a lot of them in here.
Nothing to see here.
Got any armor at all, haven't we? Got 2 seeds though. Yeah, you got some more seeds. Oh. Alright, well. I've got some more seeds at least. So,
What's up, Slick?
okay, that's a woodcutter. Recognise that by the voice.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
So let's go ahead and find our... Yes, it was a woodcutter
Howdy.
I wanted, wasn't it?
I
Right.
can do that.
So, you go ahead and plant some tree
Boy,
there.
you best not be messing with me.
Our village is
I've
under
got the
attack.
set. I'm on the
Whoa,
trail.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'll
Yes,
be
we
there.
Tis an honor.
Okay.
How can I help?
As you wish.
Okay.
For honor.
A woman's work is never
Onward to
done.
victory and mead.
Something to do?
Away I go.
Right.
I shall drink to your death.
A building has been destroyed.
Think you can outrun me?
Move
Be right
out.
there, darling.
Forward.
Busy, busy, busy. Prepare to die.
I didn't get any melee.
Ready. Mine is to obey. For honor. Heading out. Double time. Onward
Yes,
to
Madam.
victory and you die.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
What now? My pleasure.
Get some more.
On my way.
We've lost a building.
Ta-ta. Really?
Training this person
By
will leave
your-
you without any
Mine
peasants.
is to obey.
This is tough.
Heading out. Ready for double time.
All right, dear.
You're looking at me.
That's it. Take them out.
Quick
Move forward.
march.
One of our buildings has crumbled.
There's no line renderer on that, but alright.
Tis an
Right
honor.
away.
As you wish.
I ain't no
Wow.
damn
Oh, I need a hero.
New settlers have arrived.
I need a hero to be able to plough in here and do some AoE.
Forward!
Okay.
Attack!
For our people.
Away I go.
That's the spider's thing. That's another bug. Like that health thing shouldn't be on there. Right, well, we
Construction completed.
we got absolutely massacred there. Some loot. Right, let's go ahead and armor up the guys.
Attention!
Go to the armor.
All right, my love.
Alright.
Yes, my dear?
Move out!
They've at least got a bit of
New
defense
villagers
now.
have arrived.
Can the archers shoot over obstacles, or can they only shoot direct shots? At the moment, they can probably do things like shoot through buildings and stuff, which obviously will
How can I
want to
help?
prevent that. But in terms of shooting over obstacles, it would really depend on how we define colliders and the line of sight. Okay, so let's get our production back up and running. We're all right. We've got farmers. Let's get a weaver.
Standing ready.
All right, my love.
Let's start recovering. Get a tailor. What else are we missing? Oh, baker. That's kind of important.
Yup.
Alright, you can be... a
Training
baker.
this person will leave you without any peasants.
Oh, really? Alright, not long until we should get hopefully 3 more since everybody's still relatively happy.
Our village has attracted new settlers.
Alright, come on. Let's get our economy back up and running after a rather fatal attack. So another thing that we need to do as well is fix things like nav mesh cuts and nav mesh adds so that the buildings behave properly with pathfinding. Will it ever stop raining in the swamplands? At the moment, it won't, but eventually, yeah, I think we'll make that start and stop.
Something to do?
Okay, can we distribute some of that?
Yes, Petal.
And must be ready for more population soon.
All right, my love.
Cauldron. Let's have that one.
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
Ready to obey. March.
All right, dear.
Just
Yes, my dear?
Forward. 'Tis an honor.
right.
A woman's work is never
How
done.
we doing?
How can I help? Something to do?
What have we got there? 4, 5, 6, 8. More. Alright, the army's coming together now. I think
Yes,
what we'll
Petal.
do
As
is
you
we'll
wish. Away I go.
move these guys up,
Be right there, darling.
take out some wolves. See, places like this are great for triggers. We can put something here, like a
At
little
once.
warning about
Move out.
wolves.
By your leave. Forward. At once.
Oh, there's a lot of wolves here.
New settlers have arrived.
I guess they were breeding while we've...
By your leave. Mine is to
I
obey.
need potions, and I need Willow
All
the
right,
healer
love.
on my side. I know, it'll be so much easier.
Yes, my dear?
Heading out.
Right, trees.
Our town is under attack.
Oh, what? Really?
How can I help? Right away. Busy, busy, busy.
Mine is to obey. Time.
Something to do?
Ready to serve. Awaiting your command.
Yes, Petal. All right, my love.
Quick march.
Actually,
Tis
I
an
think
honor.
Those wolves
Heading
might be
out.
spawning a little bit aggressively.
As you wish.
To save this land.
Double time.
So let's move
Away
them over
I
here.
go.
Okay.
Let them heal up.
New villagers have arrived.
Right. Let's have one of those new villagers then. Come and be a woodcutter, and let's go ahead and plant some trees in the village.
Now what?
Chop chop.
Chop chop.
I got my axe. I'm on it.
Let's have a nice little... Up there.
I can do that. Boy, you best not be messing with me. I've got the set. I'm on the trail. I'll be there.
Chop chop.
Oh, looks like a texture.
I got my
there.
axe.
That's
I'm
all.
on it. I can do that. Boy, you best not be messing with me.
We need a better
I've got the set.
interface feedback
I'm on the
this.
trail.
I think we need to plant a sapling into the
I'll
ground.
be there.
Chop chop.
I got my axe. I'm on it.
Alright, that's all I see is used up. So,
Our village has attracted new settlers.
there he is. Doing his work. There's a sapling. So we'll have. Hopefully, we should get some nice.
Yes, my dear. Okay. How can I? A woman's work is never done.
Right. So let's get some more.
This building already supports the maximum number of specialists.
So it does.
All right, my love.
Quick march.
Let's go.
They're attacking
an
our
honor.
buildings.
As you wish. Ready for battle.
We need rally points, don't we, on the
A
barracks?
woman's work is never
on.
done.
Get
Away
away.
I go.
Still, have they leveled up? Yes, they have. All right, let's give them some more vitality.
Yes, my dear.
All right. Give them a little bit more health. And see, what we really need here as well is like typical
Yes, my dear.
RTS conventions. So
How can
like
I
double
help?
clicking on a unit of one type would select all of those types.
Move out.
Something to do?
Forward.
Yes, be right there, darling.
Standing ready.
That's not in at the
By
moment.
your leave. Standing firm.
Busy.
All right,
How
so
can I
let's
help?
shove you on 2,
Awaiting your command.
Something to do?
Yes?
Yes,
3,
Petal.
and then all of you.
All
on
right,
1.
dear.
Move out.
All right, my love.
Forward.
Right
Orders.
away.
Mine is to obey. Your wish?
Yes, my dear.
At once.
All right, dear.
Ready for duty, sir.
Okay. How can I? Right away.
Time to die. At your command. Double time.
Alright, I should probably really have put my armour on
Something to
By
do?
your leave.
my melee guys, but let's go
Yes,
ahead.
Petal. A woman's work is
Mine
never
is to
done.
obey. Quick march. 'Tis an honor. As you wish.
Be right there, darling.
Heading out. Away I go. At the ready. Move out.
Think you can outrun me?
These archers. Oh my god, there's a lot of them.
All right, my love.
Forward. I shall drink to your death.
Where's those archers?
May
the
you
archers out
die.
first.
That's
Oh no, the spiders are coming in.
double time. Quick you called? March.
Oh well, that battle's over quick. Okay. Need some experience and better gear before I take on that many. That's a lot of goblins. Mind you, this is a village, so I should have expected as much, I suppose. Should have chosen my battles a little bit better to start off with, sending in inexperienced troops in. Never mind. Oh, looks like
Settlers have arrived looking for a fresh start.
not keen on that. Black space. I think we'll be changing that. Alright. How are we doing? How are our trees looking? Alright, yeah, we've got a nice tree-lined street. Let's go ahead, drop down. Let's set the camera speed to slow.
New settlers have arrived.
Hello, Mr. Baker. Okay.
Villagers are in need of firewood.
Oh, I'm sure they are. So, it's interesting training that many military units. It means that battles can be larger. I think but the heroes are going to change that significantly. And Sir Gregory, who's the first hero that we're in the process of implementing, should add considerably to that experience. Oh, they've come. They've had enough. I think that's us over. That's our game over. Oh. Bug. Tall bug.
New villagers have arrived.
I think that's because the weavers farm fields, so for some reason it's giving them a pitchfork. Get rid of the UI. Oh. Fighting it out. Oh, she won.
Someone has become sick.
Go on. I don't think she's going to survive.
Villagers
like
are getting cold and need firewood.
I think the villagers are dying, more importantly.
A building has been destroyed.
Villagers are in need of meat or fish.
Old advisor.
We've lost a building.
Sounds like some old lines haven't been updated. Go on, mutton chops.
It's freezing, and our villagers need firewood to keep warm. Our villagers need more meat and fish in their diet.
They need some more life. I
A
think.
building has been destroyed.
Oh well. Let's ring around. We need to, get some time to improve the AI, but that'll be happening once that focus shifts more onto combat. Someone has become dead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we recorded those lines. Ooh, goblin ring! Oh, come on, goblin ring! They're just gonna run around.
We've lost a building.
My poor settlement. Well, it's not the easy map. And I could have built some defences.
One of our buildings has crumbled.
It's all over.
Yes, my dear?
One brave female stonecutter trying to put up a defence. Alright, well, they're going to wipe out my village sooner or later. And I think that's a good place to end the stream. So, what's happening this week?
A building has been destroyed.
Putting in the costs for the building upgrades. Excuse me. Bug fixing. Finishing the tutorial. Recording the tutorial voiceover so we can get that in. And then, yeah, we crack on with getting patch 0.3 out. One thing I will be doing once we've got the tutorial out is I'll be starting to look more at the maps that we've got and putting in, using Workbench to put in quests and things like that, and also to drive forward the Workbench experience so that we can put quests in there and give more, add more playability in there. And of course we'll be looking at the Withering
Villagers
Dead,
are leaving.
the Withering Dead and the Glade Folk over in the Grasslands kit. So thanks very much for joining us. Just a quick
We've
reminder,
lost a building.
if you have joined the stream for the first time, then please click the purple heart below the stream to follow us, or you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/Games Foundry. So it is Wednesday the 22nd of April, so have a great day, and thanks for watching. Alright, bye bye.